Before you were 3 years old, you had already lived through some of the most important moments of your life. You opened your eyes for the first time. You heard voices before you understood words. You felt warmth, hunger, pain, comfort, fear, and love. You learned faces, touch, and who felt safe. You cried, laughed, reached for someone, and waited to be held. A whole world happened to you, and you remember almost none of it. Not the first room you ever saw, not the first face you loved, not the first time someone said your name. It feels like your life begins around age 3 or 4, and everything before that is darkness. Most people think they know why. You were too young. Your brain was not ready. You were not recording yet. But that answer is too simple, because babies do remember. They recognize voices. They learn routines. They know familiar faces. Their brains are not empty. So the real question is not, can a baby make memories? The real question is, why do those memories disappear? And the answer is stranger than simply, you were too young. Because your first memories may not have been missing. They may have been erased by the same process that built you. Imagine your brain as a city under construction. Roads are appearing. Old paths are breaking. Bridges connect places that were separate yesterday. That was your brain in early childhood. Somewhere inside that construction site were your first experiences. Voices, rooms, faces, fear, comfort, safety. But the city did not stop building to protect them. It kept growing. And as it grew, it changed the roads that led back to those memories. This is one of the most unsettling ideas in neuroscience. The same growth that helped create your mind may also be why you cannot remember becoming yourself. In the first years of life, your brain creates and connects new neurons at an incredible rate. This builds the circuits for movement, emotion, learning, language, and everything that later feels normal. But growth has a cost. Memories are not little videos stored in a folder. They are patterns of connection. They live inside networks, and when those networks are rewritten, a memory can become unreachable. Not fake, not meaningless, unreachable. Like a book where the story still exists, but the index burned and the chapters moved. You cannot find your way back. So your baby brain was not weak. It was busy, too busy building the future version of you to preserve the earliest version of you. But memory is not just storage. To remember your life, you need something deeper. You need a self. You need the feeling that this is happening to me. A baby can remember a sound, a face, a routine, or a feeling. But autobiographical memory is different. It means being able to say, I was there. That happened to me. That was part of my story. And for the first part of your life, that inner narrator had not formed yet. You existed, but you did not experience yourself the way you do now. The baby in your old photos had your face, body, name, but it did not yet have the same sense of me that is listening now. That is why baby pictures feel strange. You know it is you, but it feels like looking at a stranger who lived inside your life before you arrived. And then there is language. Before words, your world was pure sensation. Light, warmth, noise, skin, smell, hunger, comfort, fear. Everything was real. Everything was intense. But it had no structure, no sentence to hold it together. Language does not just describe memories, it helps build them. When a child learns to speak, life starts turning into story. Words become containers. They give the brain a way to organize experience. Before language, experience is like water in your hands. It is there. You feel it, but it slips away. So when you ask, why don't I remember being a baby? The answer is not one thing. It is everything at once. Your memory system was unfinished. Your brain rewired itself too quickly. Your sense of self had not formed. Your language had not built a structure strong enough to hold your experiences. You were alive. You were feeling. You were learning. But the person who could later say, that was me, was still under construction. The first version of you lived an entire beginning. It felt your first fear. It received your first love. It learned whether the world was safe. It built the foundation you still carry today. But you cannot visit that version. You inherited its fears, instincts, attachments, and needs. But not its memories. In a way, your first self did not disappear completely. It became the foundation. You are standing on a life you cannot remember. And maybe that is why childhood amnesia feels so haunting. It is realizing that your life started before your story did, before your memories, before your inner voice, before the person you call me. The beginning of you belonged to a smaller, wordless version of yourself who experienced everything for the first time and then vanished so you could exist.